Okie dokie, you know where you are. Joy 99.7 FM. The program most definitely is Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Norte by nature. It's been a blessed but challenging week for me. Oh, a family health emergency. Look, let me do this, If you know a nurse at the Lekma Hospital, Nurse Khadija at the nurses station, wow. Give her a kiss for me. And to my many earth angels who turn things around. Let me take this one. I love it so much. Daughters under his wings, right?
Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7 FM.
It to best. Oh, those three ladies. All right, Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. You know how we do the praise? Yeah. We've been doing breastfeeding, huh? For quite a while. I need to wean you guys off.
You know it's another OPK.
You like the course. Okay, today we're transitioning from exclusive breastfeeding to complementary feeding. Yes. The recommendation is that after 6 months, although this formula from the breast, yes, breast milk is comprehensive, all nourishing and supporting of the child's development, after 6 months, the child needs more. The menu must change. So I've got my guest from the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Goldfield Edemazuma is a dietitian. Constance Odonko, Principal Midwifery Officer. And Felicia Mankwa, Senior Midwifery Officer with the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. We're talking about that transition right? Where you start to introduce baby to new foods. Hopefully, baby will like the foods you introduce. But how do you go about that? What is the formula? What is the strategy? That's what we're talking about today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you see. How did you like my praise?
No, it went well. You like it,
You
yeah.
haven't seen me like that before. It has nothing to do with club beer or other influences, right? It's just God. Right, yeah. So we've been learning. We've learned how milk is produced, the different types of milk, colostrum, fore milk, what? Is it hind milk or back milk or side milk? We've learned the different positions, rugby, cross arm, underarm, all those things. We've learned how baby should attach properly so that girls right? Otherwise, you get tired, you get fatigued, you get frustrated, and breastfeeding doesn't go on as it should. And this affects mother and baby, okay? Folks, if you have any questions whatsoever about breastfeeding, feel free to bring them in, but we're transitioning to complementary feeding. I've given an intro, but Constance, start us off. When we say complementary feeding, right, alongside this whole exclusive breastfeeding, what does it mean?
Thank you, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Basically, complementary feeding means that the woman or the mother is going to introduce other foods alongside breast milk. This is because, according to the WHO, the breast milk, unfortunately, after the 6th month, will not be enough for the infant. So it's important that we introduce other foods alongside, because the other food would also boost up the baby's optimal development.
Okay.
This include iron, protein, and carbohydrates that would help with the baby's development.
Okay.
So semi-foods, for instance, our local foods and all that, they are what we call the complementary feeds. That means that the woman is going to continually give the baby the breast milk. The take home here is that the breast milk is still going to be given to the baby alongside other introduction of
complementary, supplementary. We're not saying stop the breastfeeding altogether, right?
Yeah.
Introduce new foods. They are necessary, right? But continue the breastfeeding.
Yes.
Okay. Alongside the supplementary new foods.
Exactly.
Okie dokie. So the men who were asking and complaining, it's not yours yet. Okay. Breastfeeding continues. So after 6 months, right? And I know those of you who know developmental milestones, a lot of things would have changed for baby by age 6 months. And one of these days we'll do a program on developmental milestones. Okay. So we're introducing new foods. Foods are for the nourishment, growth, and development of the body. Okay. So these additional or complementary foods are going to augment and enhance what the baby is getting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So after 6 months, right? And let's say, by this time, mother would have gone back to work, right? How do you go about this new thing? Last week we talked about the enabling workplace, which would allow mother to express breast milk and hopefully feed their baby within the workplace when they return to work, noting that our law gives them 12 weeks of maternity leave. All right. So 6 months, they should be back at work, and they are now encouraged to introduce these new foods. Let me come to the other gentleman in the studio, Goldfield. So diet-wise, babies getting what they need, right? What are we adding, and why this addition? What has changed in the baby's needs?
Okay. So when it comes to after 6 months, initially you said that exclusive breastfeeding is because breast milk is what the baby's digestive system can tolerate.
Okay.
But now the digestive system is ready to tolerate foods that are not breast milk.
Okay.
So, and then at age 6, we expect that the birth weight would have doubled, meaning the baby's energy needs are more.
Okay.
Yes. So within the first 6 to 8 months, that is the baby's 6 to 8 months birthday, we expect a complementary food to be introduced.
Okay.
And it should be introduced slowly.
Slowly.
Yes.
All right.
Actually, the recommendation says that when you start, the baby should be able to take between 2 to 3 tablespoons full at the start. Then by the 8th month, the baby should be able to take about 150 mils.
Okay.
Yes. So that's how you're going to start. And then the texture of these foods also matter.
Right. But give us a bit on texture. So you're saying that introduce it gradually. There's a requirement
Yes.
in terms of, should I say, the quantity
Yes.
or proportion of these new foods.
Yes.
Right, which are being introduced gradually,
Yes.
slowly to baby.
Yes.
Baby does not know these foods.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a certain dietary requirement.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm thinking already, okay, does every mommy know this, or are you just stuffing something down baby's throat and he didn't like it or he loves it, right? So right now, dear, hey, Charlie Banku all the way, Kokonte all the way, right? So, but you mentioned texture.
Yes.
Just give us a bit on that for my listeners.
Okay. So complementary feeding is divided into 3 stages. There's 6 to 8 months, 9 to 11 months,
Joy
and then
99.7
12 to 24 months.
Okay.
So in the first 6 to 8 months, the texture is mostly mashed or porridge-like textures,
Smooth.
smooth.
Right. would you call that? I mean, that sounds like paste.
Yes.
Would you call it solid?
Semi-solid.
Semi-solid. Okay.
Yes.
These are important for my listeners because when
Very
their questions
important.
start coming, it's more than parliament, right? So paste-like. Why that texture or why this consistency?
Yes. So at that consistency, at that age, that's the consistency the baby is able to take in
Okay.
without trying to push it out.
Okay.
It's easy for baby to swallow,
Okay.
and it aids in digestion.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so folks, if you just joined us, we're doing new stuff. We're tired of the one-way menu. Mommy, every day breast milk. Right? Baby, right? But we're introducing new things for good reasons. Babies' nourishment needs have changed.
Yes.
Okay? They need more energy.
More energy.
Right? And
yes.
alongside developmental milestones, there's a lot of stuff going on. So they need the fuel in the tank to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned critically and emphatically that the digestive system is better able to tolerate and process these things
Yes.
by
exactly.
this threshold of 6 months.
Yes.
Okay. So if you've just joined us, that's what we're looking at. This transition from exclusive breastfeeding to complementary breastfeeding for the baby. Let me come to the women. The men, we've gotten macho now because now it's not about breasts. Okay, so we can do some. But Felicia, so yeah, we're introducing these things. Okay, we've been latching baby onto the nipple or the breast properly. In fact, it's wrong to say the nipple, the breast properly, right? Baby has been thriving, feeding, and so on and so forth. All this period, in the 6 month period, when do baby and mommy go for the first postnatal weighing? When does that take place? After delivery?
After delivery,
Mm-hmm.
the first week
Mhm.
they do come,
They come.
and then the 2 weeks,
Mhm.
that's the 14,
Mm-hmm.
and then 6 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. The reason I'm asking this is that many people feel it's time to wear your white show. You know, you're looking good, you've got a baby and all that. But what's the essence of this weighing and the postnatal? Because I've always had a problem where we look at the statistics, we lose with women, a lot of the women. Antenatal, they'll come because wahala day, right? But postnatal, I've got my baby, life is going on, I'm working, trying to hustle and make a living, I've gone back to work. We don't get the numbers we should, right? But this opportunity to attend weighing, which we call that because, of course, there's weighing of the baby, but there's a lot more that goes on. What's the importance of this postnatal process?
Okay, the importance of the postnatal process is that you
Joy
get to assess the baby,
99.7
Mhm.
FM.
assess the mother,
Okay,
and also get to know whether the baby is feeding well.
okay,
Okay, so during the postnatal period, when the mother comes and then you use the weighing card as a growth chart,
okay,
you'll be able to know whether mother is breastfeeding well or we are doing complementary.
okay.
Whether mother is feeding the baby well.
Mhm.
And then also you need to also during that period, that's where you will interrogate with the woman to find out whether she's having any challenges
Okay.
with feeding
Right.
the infants.
Okay.
So it makes us know whether the infant is growing well
Okay.
or not.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So it's important to attend weighing postnatal, after birth, after all the pojimo and party, right? This one is not Bono party, it's the party for the living. Right, so baby should be gaining weight, am I right?
Yes.
And growing according to a certain norm or pattern or range.
Yes.
Right. If they don't meet that pattern, then we say baby is not thriving or baby is malnourished. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So Goldfield mentioned a certain proportion of the complementary foods and a certain dietary or nutrition need of the baby. So when you come after 6 months, you're expected to have introduced these complementary.
Yes.
Right. How is mommy supposed to do this? Is it with a cup, a spoon, a straw, or a bottle? How do you do this?
Okay, so first of all, with complementary feeding,
Yeah.
there are 4 things that you need to do.
Okay.
Timely introduction is 1,
Joy
adequacy is
99.7
2,
FM.
and then giving it at appropriate age,
Okay.
and then safety is the 4th one.
All right. Teacher, please wait. Timely.
Timely introduction of the
Okay.
complementary feed is very important.
Break that down for us.
So with the timely introduction, we are saying that exactly at 6 months,
Okay.
you need to start the complementary feeding.
Mm.
If you go beyond it, your infant is going to have challenges adapting to the new changes that he or she is going to
All right.
and face.
So mothers should adhere to this 12-month boundary, right,
Yes,
for
yes.
the introduction or
Yes,
threshold.
yes.
Okay, so do it at the right time.
At the right time.
Adequacy.
Adequacy means that, like Goldfield said, the amount of feed you give, 6 to 8 months, 2 to 3 times, and then 9 to 11, as he explained. So the amount that you give should not only be like, I'm giving porridge to the baby.
Joy
I'm just giving porridge because it's just white porridge. At this point, the baby needs iron, zinc, the micronutrients to thrive.
Okay.
So you need to add the milk to it. That's the breast milk. That's the standard lactation
To
period.
the porridge.
No, after feeding,
Okay.
you can go ahead and then breastfeed the baby.
Okay.
Yes, so that the baby will have the all the nutrients that he or she needs to grow.
Okay.
So it's not about just giving the porridge to the child, but make sure that everything that the child needs is inclusive
Okay.
in the food.
Okay.
Yes, and then the adequate amount too is very important.
All right. What was the other one?
I also spoke about appropriate age.
Right.
So the child should be 6 months.
Okay.
Less than 6 months, we don't advise.
Okay.
Before 6 months, the child is curious, and then when you are eating, you realize that they also show signs that they want to taste what you are eating. But you talk about developmental milestones. So by age 6 months, the child is able to sit up, open the mouth, and will not spill the food out.
Okay.
So at that point, the child is the infant is well developed
Okay.
to take the food. But when you give it before 6 months, there's going to be choking problem, and then it wouldn't be safe for the child.
Okay, we hope you're not choking. It's 23 minutes past the hour 2 on Joy 99.7 FM. The program is Ultimate Health, your ultimate guide to healthy living. With me, Norte by Nature. We are eating chunkier things now. We've been doing breastfeeding with my guest. You just heard speaking, Felicia Mankwa. She's a senior midwife with the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Next to her, Constance Odonko, principal midwife with the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And the gentleman who's not a midwife. I've always done programs on why there are few male midwifery practitioners. And there are funny stories about why, though we have male gynecologists.
Yes.
But Goldfield Azuma is a dietitian also with the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Okay, so if you have any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 1111 997. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. The program is Ultimate Health. Right, so shortly I will activate the phone line so you can ask the questions directly
Joy
and
99.7
introduce your own
FM.
complimentary questions. Hi, Akwaba, Senior Nortedu. No, Sir Nortedu. Hey, I'm not bad though. Greetings from to me and my guests from Pasolo in Sunyani. Thanks, Pasolo. This one says. Okay, I've lost the rest. Okay, I'll get them back. Right, so you can send your WhatsApp on 055 1111 997. Shortly, I'll activate the phone line so you can ask the questions yourself. So, baby has been sucking, right? Hopefully and exclusively on a nipple, which is quite different from the teat of a feeding bottle. And the mechanism is a bit different, Constance, right? So where there's some confusion, some people say nipple confusion, where the bottle has been brought in because mom says the milk wasn't coming, it wasn't enough, milk now madum, so it's gone off and so on. So we switched to formula and the bottle. Baby learned to be familiar with a different ATM, okay, where the food comes from. Now you're going to start introducing these new foods, new textures, okay? So apart from the 4 things that Felicia, let's go over timely,
adequacy, appropriate age, and then safety.
Safety, right. We didn't finish with safety. Can we just finish and I'll come back to Constance?
Okay, with the safety, food should be well prepared, utensils should be well cleaned, so that you don't end up contaminating and then introducing. Wash your hands, and then the infant's hands also should be washed.
Okay.
Because at that point, they would love to hold some of the some other things and then put it in their mouth.
The food must be safe, hygienic.
Must be safe and hygienic.
Not toxic.
Yes.
Right. So you can't go and, shortcuts are good, sometimes I say convenience is a curse. But you go and buy your friendly clients, friendly neighborhood Hausa cocoa, and they tie it in the polythene bag, and it looks already like a breast. Well engorged. So you bite the corner of the, and why can you give that to baby?
Okay.
It's paste-like. It's this. You see the way Adam is looking. Goldfield is looking at me. And well, can't you do that?
Okay. So it's not advisable to be given baby that's as you said, the rubber food and all that. This is because what happens, for instance, with Hausa cocoa, which have shown that the way it's prepared, it has less fiber. So in the introduction of the semi-solid food, we also actually advise that you can do your normal cocoa at home.
Make it yourself.
Right. Do not save it because it's rich in fiber. And it's going to help the baby develop very well. So do not sieve the condom. Not at all.
Okay.
It's not the best practice.
Okay.
And then we advocate for the use of cups and spoons than the teats or as the feeding bottles.
Okay.
Because baby is going to be introduced to new feed, and you need to take your time and have patience. This is the time for bonding.
Okay.
That's when we're going to look at the baby. Maybe for all you know, in the course of feeding the baby might end up vomiting and all that. So you need to have time and patience when you are feeding.
It's not a fight.
Yes. So for example, it's a puree. So the varieties where we talk about the staple, our 4-star diets, I'll just chip in.
Okay.
The 4-star diet basically means that the food contains all the balanced diet. So our staple food, example, is the cereal.
Okay.
Our cereals, as I said, the cereals are there. Our legumes are there. Potatoes, you can mash it, give it to baby. Our animal proteins, example, is our egg.
Okay.
And all that. So you have to take it gradual. And if you are giving the baby, as Goldfield said earlier on, 2 to 3 tablespoons is fine. So if the baby is not even going to take everything, you are introducing to a little at a time. A little at a time alongside the breastfeeding.
Okay.
And gradually, baby will be used or be able to tolerate the feed. So it is gradual. You are introducing something new.
Okay.
So take your time, have patience, and then baby will be able to feel. Yeah, this is a time for bonding. So look at the baby, watch any sign, and then as the baby is recurring, vomiting, kindly note and then report to us. And so yes.
All right. Okay. We're trying to digest all this. This is from Dede, Maryland. Dede, how far now? You haven't been to Ghana in ages. You have to come. She says you mentioned porridge. What type of porridge? She's asking that. We'll come back to that in a second. But all this seems to assume that as for baby, whatever you do is yes, sir, master. Some babies came out already, even within the womb. They were registered members, card-holding members of the Stubborn Academy. Right? They will give you a run for your money. What about resistance? From the baby? I mean, okay, fine, you've mashed it, you've listened to Goldfield and midwives like you've prepared puree, friend, pesto. What is this? I don't want it. What are the typical signs that show rejection from baby, and how should you respond? You're trying to follow WHO's recommendations, let's say in Swedru. or somewhere else. Okay, and this is the challenge. What are the typical signs that shows that baby says no, right? Capital N-O. Or this is causing problems. What are the typical signs that a mother should look out for with regard to getting a measure or a sense of baby's acceptance of this new food?
Okay. So when it comes to acceptance, there's 3 things I want to mention.
Okay.
The first one are allergies.
Joy, 99.7
So
FM.
allergic reactions usually show certain symptoms like on the skin, difficulty breathing, there are some rashes.
Okay.
If you give a particular food and you realize that's on your child, you have to stop the food
Okay.
and then report to the nearest health facility you have.
Allergic reaction.
Yes.
Right.
Then there's food intolerance. That one causes classical signs are like diarrhea, vomiting, and flatulence.
Okay.
Then you know that the child is intolerant to the food.
Okay.
That means the child is unable to digest the food properly.
Okay.
And then the last one is when the child rejects the food because of other reasons, like the child is not used to it. The child is still trying to adjust from breast milk to complementary feeds. And that one is crying, spitting out the food.
Okay.
But most of the time, it's about the environment and how you make the food.
Right. The process.
The process.
Okay.
So first, you have to take your time. You don't have to rush the child. Secondly, to you need to let the place be free of distractions.
All right.
At 6 months, they are very active and they are distracted by the smallest things.
Okay.
So make sure that if it's TV, the TV is off because the sound can easily distract the child. Maybe the siblings are playing
So
nearby.
this is a full-time job for baby.
Yes, please.
Don't be doing other things and doing the feeding as Galamsey.
Yes.
Part-time. Full-time, you want baby's full focus to make sure this transition is successful.
Yes, please.
Right.
Very important.
Distractions.
Distractions
At
should
this
be out.
age, baby is easily distracted.
Easily distracted.
Okay.
They are-
Even by the breast. you brought a spoon, but the breast is available.
Yes.
And it's touchable and it's all, so baby is distractible.
Yes.
So get baby's attention.
Attention.
Okay.
Yes. And then start small. Okay. Don't let food be too spicy. Don't let food be too sweet. That is when baby is developing a sense of taste.
Okay.
So don't start at 6 months with homemade foods.
Okay.
So perhaps the whole family was eating banku one day and the baby wanted to eat and the baby had been rejecting cocoa. So immediately you start feeding the baby with banku when the baby has not reached the age for banku.
Sharp. One budget. It works. Don't give them. They've seen the banku. They are wailing the house down, causing a racket. You give them small of the okra, and gone. Okay. You're saying
It's dangerous. Yeah.
don't do that.
Yes. So like I was saying, 6 to 8 months porridge like.
Okay.
9 to 11 finely chopped food.
Okay.
And still with the porridge and mash like.
Okay.
Then 12 and above homemade textures and then together with
So
the
there's actually a roadmap.
yes please.
That you should be following. That should be guiding you.
Yes please.
In introducing these things.
Yes.
And if you go ahead of yourself or you rush or you react in frustration and change something, right, and introduce it before time, there could be problems.
Yes.
Right. Let me ask you this question before I read a few more messages. You mentioned sugars and spices and so on. Okay, I've got the paste, I've got the texture. I want it to be a bit sweet. What should I be using? White sugar, no sugar? How do you sweeten things, and does baby even detect these changes?
Yes. So most studies have shown that our preferences actually change from starts from how we're fed.
Okay.
So
So actually it's a learning process.
Yes.
Okay.
So even for some adults whose household they don't use a lot of salt,
Right.
if they tend to eat other people's food that people also think is normal, like this food is too salty.
Right.
So as babies, they can't really tell the difference between sweet and sour.
Okay.
Yeah, there are some foods that when you put in their mouth, they reject it because of innate
Manufacturer software.
yes.
Okay.
But then that's not the time to start introducing your child to sugary foods.
Okay.
because we all know the dangers of excessive sugar intake.
So should the food, or should I say the sweetness of whatever you're introducing, should it be natural?
Yes.
It's naturally sweet, and if it's naturally sweet, should I dilute it? When it comes to sweetness, because the mother's tongue is different from the baby's tongue.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, okay? I think I've been a baby before. Right. I'm assuming at that time, when I was a baby, I wasn't thinking like this.
Yes.
Right. But do you taste it yourself as the mother and approve it, or how should this be done? And I'll come to the midwives as well. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as a mother, you should taste the food.
Okay.
Okay. You should taste whether it tastes good. It doesn't have to it just tastes sugary.
Okay.
It can be naturally sweet.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't have to be excessively bitter or sour.
Okay.
But it can be naturally sweet or bland.
Okay. Right.
Then you decide to start feeding the baby.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Back to the ladies, and a couple of the day is asking, what are the reasons for not saving the cocoa? Is it due to fermentation? You said don't say that. When I brought in the house,
The sieving.
Yeah, the sieving.
Oh, sieving.
Sieving.
We're talking about passing it through a sieve, right?
sieve, yeah.
To take out the rough,
roughage,
the chaff and the roughage
yeah,
and
the
stuff
chaff.
like that. Okay, that's what she meant. Okay, right. Okie dokie. Let me just see. Okay, no more. WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. We're talking about the transition from exclusive breastfeeding to complementary foods or feeding for your child. If you have any questions, concerns, experiences, share them with us on WhatsApp 055 11 11 997. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. This is Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM. My guests are from the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, but everything we are discussing is, let me say, universal. All right. So feel free to call in. Phone line is active 0302-221-6541. And WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. Okay, so mom can taste and use her own judgment, right, to make this a smooth, seamless transition for baby. Okay. Any other words on these introductions and how to do it? He mentioned sweetness, spicy stuff, and so on and so forth. What are the easiest examples to give as early? We said 6 to 8 months.
Yes.
For the 6 to 8 month period, what are the commonly available, affordable things that mom should be thinking of adding to breastfeeding? Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think earlier on I mentioned the cocoa or the porridge.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to start with the porridge, assuming this is the porridge, and then you can puree your fruits.
Okay.
For instance, banana.
Mm-hmm.
You can mash the banana in the puree form.
Okay.
You can also, that is a part of the fruits that you can introduce to the baby.
So this one, just a second. So you're just mashing the banana to get the texture,
The texture.
consistency.
Yeah.
You're not adding water?
No.
You're not adding breast milk?
No.
Okay.
The breast milk can go into the porridge.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
So when you do that to the banana, you are giving the banana as is.
As it is. So the natural sweetness as it is.
You're
Instead
not
of.
making a smoothie-like thing with different fruits.
No, okay. So there are instances whereby, so you are introducing gradually.
Okay.
So you start with, for instance, the banana. If the baby is able to tolerate,
All right.
maybe for about a week.
Okay.
Subsequently, you can maybe add other, for instance, maybe you can cook the apple and then mash it together. So it is gradual.
Okay.
So I'm not going to mix everything like a multifruiter, no.
Okay.
Once,
So
At a
here we're
time.
talking about fruits.
sure.
Apple must also be brought to that consistency.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say cook an apple, I know we can cook apples. Are we boiling it? You know, folks will like to.
Okay.
How do I cook an
So-
apple without losing the nutrients? Yeah.
So the water should be warm.
Okay.
You want it to be soft, so that's why you need a little warm water to be able to make it soft. Because if you
Right.
are mashing,
Have you cut it into pieces already?
yes,
In
cut
the
into
warm
pieces
water? Okay.
exactly,
All
and
right.
then you can mash it, peel off the skin. Sometimes if you put it in the warm water, the skin is not so soft, so you can peel off the skin and then
Right.
mash it.
Okay.
So the whole idea is that it should be gradual.
Okay.
So a little at a time. So don't buy maybe about 4 apples and then you have mashed everything. A little at a time.
Okay.
A little at a time.
Right.
And then the baby will be able to. So it should be also colorful.
Okay.
So you started with.
Colors
your-
are important.
Very important.
Yes, very,
Smells
very
are important.
important.
Right.
Very
To baby.
important to baby.
Okay, because I remember when we did breastfeeding, you said if you're putting all sorts of cosmetics on your breast, and it can put baby off the breast.
Yes.
And that these scents are very important.
Very
in
important.
the bonding and the transition and all
yes.
that. So the color of the food, the
Yes.
texture.
It should
of
be
the food,
colorful. It
the
should be
smell of the food. Hey.
They all play a vital. That is why it's a whole job.
Okay.
And then you realize that through that, gradually, baby will be able to take it. So even as you started this week, and one tablespoon, it is fine.
Okay.
Give the breast milk, 1 tablespoon, gradual, and then time and patience. The baby will tolerate. But assuming that you did all that, and then baby is still not tolerating. For instance, you give him, baby is vomiting. He spoke about the allergies.
Okay.
And so you have to report to us. There are instances whereby there could be a medical condition.
Okay.
Yes, congenital issues here and there. That's how come baby is having those challenges.
Right.
So report to us.
So if it's even between weighing dates,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Promptly report.
Report is so vital. Maybe
Right.
before there could be an issue.
Okay.
As I said, maybe heart issue, that's why baby is vomiting and all that.
Okay.
And that is the danger.
Okay.
Yes, so you need to.
Great stuff. My
Report.
phone lines are active 030-221-6541. Ultimate Health on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Norte by Nature. With the SWAT team from Kolebu Teaching Hospital when it comes to breastfeeding and so on. We've been for the past couple of weeks talking about exclusive breastfeeding. We talked about enhancing and enabling breastfeeding in the workplace when mommy returns to work. And now we're moving on and transitioning from exclusive breastfeeding to the introduction or the successful introduction of complementary foods for baby, and how to do that and to make sure that baby accepts these foods and they continue on the path of optimal development. Okay, so if you have any questions, concerns, WhatsApp is 055 11 11 997. We're live on Facebook and YouTube, and the phone line is 030-221-6541. Okay, this one says just hi. Okay, is it just hi? Okay, hi. This one says not a good. Oh, Linda and Osu, Chale, long time. Oh, good lessons learned today, Linda. Good to hear from you. Right, so phone line is active, but let me come to you, Felicia. So, mommy has not just transitioned to introducing these new foods. She's being told that take your time, don't rush, don't push, don't get frustrated, right? Make it colorful, nice looking, and then all that. But how do we juxtapose this with the demands of work? Okay, you want me to do this nicely and not in any traumatic way for baby, but Charlie, time no day, right? So I'm going to work. How do I prepare this complementary food and leave it the same way I'd learned to express breast milk? How am I juggling this? And can this be done or achieved or even attained in the workplace? I mentioned last week a mother is selling wache by the roads at Laboni Junction somewhere, Osu somewhere, some lungus, right? Or at the market. They've got baby on the back, they swing baby around, they've been breastfeeding small, it's working. Now you say what? How do we put this alongside the full context of the return to work and commercial activity for the mother?
Okay, so with this, we are going to start work. First of all, you need to psych your own self. That's by the 6th month, I'm going to work. How do I do all these things?
Okay.
You need to go to the public health nurses. Ask them about how to prepare your complementary feed.
Okay.
What you are supposed to do. So like a mother, you have to wake up early and prepare the feed for the baby. And then also, definitely as you are going to work, you need a caregiver. Somebody who will also take care of the baby whilst you are at work.
That's a whole program on its own.
Yes. So you need also to bring that person in the support system, teach the person also, so that when you are not around, the person can also feed the baby as you want it. And then when you close from work, since you were not with the baby, you need to have time and then feed the baby as you want.
Okay.
Yes.
My question is, okay, let me put it this way, bluntly, right? So when does mom get all this education, especially first-time mothers, okay? you guys, you are in the hospital, you are midwives and so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. But is there that much time during weighing and so on and so forth? When do you equip mom with the skills and competencies required? Okay, where's she getting all this information about different foods, how to mash it, such that she's even able to transfer this knowledge to a supplementary or complementary caregiver like a house help and so on? Where does this take place?
So when they come for the weighing, we do health education. We educate them before even the weighing starts.
Into our classes?
Classes.
Oh,
so they are being educated on what they are supposed to do before they even start the complementary feeding. That's why I'm saying postnatal is very important. So that during this period, you'll be taught what you are supposed to do before you get to that stage.
Okay, you'll be helped.
Yes, help.
Are you being helped in peer groups? This is a third child, you're all put together for that education? Or is it segregated so that new mothers or mothers with challenges can be given extra time or, in quotes, remedial attention? Constance.
Okay, so we have the health education, as you said, but wherever there are challenges, we identify them and we isolate and then teach them.
Okay.
For example, first time mothers, some mothers doing the general talk cannot even voice out. They have challenges, so they get closer. So we tell them that in case you have issues, let us know one-on-one. Then we do that session for them.
All right.
Yes. Apart from the general, we have specialized cases where we attend to them.
All right. Know that if they come to you and you don't have time for them, they'll call Ultimate Health.
So that's why we're advocating that postnatal visit is so vital, and then child welfare clinic. So after delivery, we have not ended. We are advocating that they should continually visit us so that we're able to intervene when necessary.
Okay, this is very critical and essential. Another part, I remember my mom being a district nurse in the UK, where you actually drive out to homes to certain clients. Okay. We have community health nurses and so many. Are they part of this process where you've had a baby, you're at home? Is there any follow-up or community-based follow-up for this?
Yes. These things are available in numerous places across Ghana. We've actually, the network out there is great.
Who provides this follow-up community-based care?
Public health nurses, community-based nurses, community-based nutritionists. Yes, even from personal experience, they do certain focus group discussions. In rural areas, they even correct myths that some other mothers will share for some other mothers to hear. And they say, okay, this is not it. This is the right thing to do. And even when it comes to commercial feeds that have made their way to some of our rural...
What to buy, what to avoid.
And even the dilution factor.
Mixing preparation.
Yeah, mixing preparation. Sometimes people are mixing too much water. Other people are mixing with less water. And they do all this even in from urban to rural to peri-urban places.
This brings up something that is so it's important that you and your baby are known to the system.
Yes.
Right? Even if you did not deliver in a hospital,
report to us.
Report so that you are part of the program. If there's support or care or help near you where you live, then you can be connected.
Yes.
So mothers who have not connected to the system sometimes may be frustrated, may feel there's nothing, they feel there's no support, and they will depend on, through no fault of theirs, on informal people around them, an elderly aunt, a grandmother, or some known neighbor. So we're saying it's important, essential, and perhaps non-negotiable that you connect to the system. All right, I'm going to bring a big game changer. Where do you bring the men in all this feeding business? Okay, mom's gone to work, you've gone to work, you happen to be the parent on site. Nowhere in this have I heard the men brought in. Okay, let me just read these WhatsApp messages and then come back to that. The role of the men, and maybe if there's some unmet demand there for training, capacity building. My baby is 32 months old and weighs around 17 kilograms. She wouldn't take anything apart from cereals and porridges. Though she eats very well, I'm getting impatient. I like the word, right? Honest and genuine. With her eating habits, I have tried everything I've been told by the nutritionist, pediatrician, and knowledge online. Should I be worried? So, hey, when you're not meeting a certain goal or target, frustration is that negative emotional state. So she's confessing here. She's doing it by the book, But Charlie, it's getting very frustrating. What should she do? The baby's eating habits are not as desired, right? She wouldn't take anything apart from cereals and porridges.
Okay, so with that, what the advice here is, all things being equal, assuming that the baby is not having any issue, probably is not sick,
Okay.
the weight is okay, he shouldn't be alarmed, because not all babies are able to tolerate the entire feed.
Okay.
So it is gradual. Provided the baby is well, there's no underlying condition,
Okay.
he should not be alarmed.
She shouldn't
You
be
should still have patience, and then baby will gradually take it. So far as baby is even taking the cereal and other foods, I think then that means that's a good start. That is good. So you should not give up. Actually, you shouldn't
Right.
give up. Yes. So
32 months is 2 years, 8 months, right? 32 months. Yeah. So the baby is 2+.
Yes.
Weighs around 17 kilograms. Doesn't take anything apart from cereal. If we put it in the context of age, you've already assured her that she shouldn't be worried. With these parameters, is she still okay?
She's still okay.
she's still okay.
I don't know what the last statement said about the visits of the pediatrician and the nutritionist.
No, she said she's followed their instructions. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you can also visit
This
so
is
that
Mami from East Lagos.
Yes.
She says, I've tried everything I've been told by the nutritionist, pediatrician, and of course researching knowledge online. So she's known to the system. She's getting support, but she's getting a bit frustrated
Yes.
and impatient.
So sometimes when an intervention has been put in place and that intervention is not working, she can return to the pediatrician or nutritionist so that
Okay.
another intervention is put in place,
Right.
because baby has to gradually move to homemade
Okay.
dishes. So maybe it could be presentation, it could be swallowing difficulties, it could be taste, it could be a lot of things.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah.
Hayford in Bato, you're welcome. He says, today I have no question, but seriously, I listened to the formulas for the preparation for future's sake. Okay. So he's listening to everything you are saying and he's written it down for future's sake. Okay. Whatever that means. Okay. Right. Thanks for tuning in, Hayford. There was one about is there a specific time to cease, to stop, abort breastfeeding, or should it be a gradual process? Is there a time when you can say, give me back my life?
So we're saying that complementary feeds come in alongside breastfeeding. So between 2 years and beyond, nobody should even says that and beyond. So 2 years, you've done a good job. 2 years and beyond, it's fine.
Okay, 2 years. After 2 years,
Yes.
you can resign.
Yes.
You can write your resignation.
After 2 years.
After 2 years.
Yeah, baby. Say. All right. So, good afternoon, Senior Norte. You've already asked my question. Wanted to know how apple cooking is done.
Okay.
Okay. So, fruits must be washed well.
Washed well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need to get them to a state where they are mashable into
yeah.
puree and so on and
Exactly.
so forth. Okay. So, we talked about the 6 to 8 and then 8 to what?
9 to 11.
9 to 11.
Okay. So
Yes.
between 8 to 9, you're continuing 6 to 8 or what?
6 to 8. At the end of the 8th month, we enter the 9th month.
Okay, 9
So,
to 11.
9 to 11.
All right.
At the end of the 11th month, we enter 12 to 24.
24.
Okay. Are there significant differences in what you're doing from 9 to 11 compared to 6 to 8 months?
Yes.
What's the difference?
So 6 to 8, we do the puree porridges,
Okay.
and we feed 2 to 3 times a day,
Okay.
including a snack if baby's appetite is high.
Snack.
Yes.
One snack.
One snack.
Baby abasu. Snack.
Yes,
Yes.
that's where the fruit cooking
The
can
The
come.
man is
Yeah.
eating, the woman or the baby is eating full time. And you say snack.
The snack is, for instance, the fruits I said, the puree, the
Yes.
apple puree,
Right.
banana, and all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Then the food, you start from 2 to 3 tablespoons to about 150 mils
Okay.
of food. But from
That's
ni-
like a small cup.
yes,
Yeah?
yes, that's like
Small dish.
a quarter of a pure water sachet.
All right.
Yes, because baby's stomach is small. That's per meal.
What about these parents or mothers and some fathers who tell us that, Charlie, this baby,
Can't eat.
what you are talking about
It's too small.
is intro.
Oh yes. So
Small chops.
as baby wants more,
What if you've
you
done
can give more.
the small quantity you're talking about, baby still wants it?
You can add more. That's baseline.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Then 9 to 11 months, you do 3 to 4 times feeding,
Okay.
and that one you go you start from 150 meals to you meet about 250 meals
Okay.
with a snack or two.
Right. Still, the texture is important.
Yes, and that one you add things that the baby can chew, not the hard, but it's not very smooth,
It's
but
getting
there's
rougher.
rougher.
There's more texture.
Yes, lumps,
More rough.
a few lumps inside. Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
We haven't reached in Potompoto yet.
No, we have a poto.
yes,
In Potompoto at their level.
yes,
At their level,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
So at this stage, baby is still basically swallowing.
yes,
Okay. Swallowing milk or fluid is different from these pastes and purees and
Yes.
porridges. Okay. So how should I say it? The feeding should be slow.
yes,
You're not filling baby's mouth and giving yourself a pat on the back, right?
Exactly.
Because swallowing and breathing, these are new skills
Yeah.
that baby has to acquire.
yes,
Okay, we're running out of time, but during all this process we learned about last time, you're swallowing, you're taking in milk and fluids, you're also taking in air.
yes,
So at periodic intervals, baby has to be helped to burp.
yes.
Or
Yes.
when we get to complimentary, there's no burping.
No,
You
it's
still bit.
because you are breastfeeding.
Okie dokie. All right. Okay. The last one from Samson Kwame Nketa. Thanks, Samson. Do I have any more? This one says, "Hello, Naughty. Please, during complimentary feeding, when and how often should baby drink water?" Right. Water. Nana from Tantra. Water and Interplast. Anyway, yeah. So water.
You shouldn't let the water fill up the baby. Mostly, baby's thirst even quench.
No, before you go to excess, let's talk about when adequate amounts of water are given.
Yeah.
So how much water should baby be taking alongside all these things?
Mostly, breastfeeding at that time quenches baby's thirst.
Okay.
So, the water comes in
Sparingly. Okay.
But anytime maybe baby is unwell, baby is running fever, so you go to hospital, that one fluid intake increases.
All right.
So you can give water about 50 to 100 mils.
Okay.
But you shouldn't let water fill baby up so that baby is not able to take in the food.
Okay. So water is in a bottle? How do you give water?
You can use the cup and spoon to also give water.
Cup and spoon to
Yes.
give water, Charlie. I keep on thinking I'm done with you people. Then I see that there should be a next program. And the next program, until baby is playing football, I'll probably have you guys in the studio. But this has been great. We're almost out of time. So we're introducing these foods. And would you say generally most babies should make a comfortable transition with minimal problems? Or?
If done well,
If done properly.
Yes, most babies should pass smoothly through the process.
Okay, right. We didn't hit on, let's try and wrap on that. The role of the men, right, in all of this. And because very soon I'll be doing a program on maternity leave and all the policy and all that wahala with that. But there's talk of paternity leave, but there's also talk of male support, the father's support. Can we quickly give a point on this, Constance?
So with the father's support,
Do they come for weighing?
with the father's support, we start all the way from the antenatal. We are advocating for male involvement.
Wait. Do they come for weighing?
Yeah, they come, but there's no encouraging.
But you know,
It's not
midwives and
encouraging.
you people, you have a way of making men feel uncomfortable. Okay, speaking as the son of a midwife, and they ask you all those questions, and they have these expressions on their face. Like, where is the mother? Right? But a father is playing the appropriate role, but he's made to feel uncomfortable. So men are welcome.
They are welcome. And currently, what we do in that, with the male involvement, when they come, we give them extra attention. That is, they're able to be seen earlier. Yes, so that's to encourage them to come. So you come with your partner.
Don't look at me and say,
No, we are doing that.
Okay,